I'll keep it locked down. Locked down, see me flying, never drop down. Drop down, smoking high, I am not round. I'm not round, no denying what I got now. I got now, keep an eye out, keep it locked down. Locked down, get too strong. When I battle with the beast, bring a few on. The commander and the chief for my crew on. Bullets rattling and whistle at your toque. Never sleep, eyes open, hands clutching on my loot. This a war zone. It's a war zone. Yo, this a motherfucking war zone. It's a war zone. Yeah, feel the impact. Yeah, break it open, leaving nothing intact. Hey yo, you been hacked. You're safe, hiding, but I found it, homie, been cracked. But ain't nothing inside. Hey yo, we been back. You been stacking, see you flexing with the thin stack. Flexing on the beyond. Hey bitch, you been whacked. I kill 'em all, feel a motherfucking impact. Yo, this a war zone, homie, say you ready and prepared. Take a minute and make them aware. Well, I'll be sneaking in the back, but it's what the clap, homie, life ain't fair. Caught me crawling through the mud with a vision, saw it clearly. Born a shepherd to these sheep, make them fear me. This a war zone, trenched out, trap house, nothing ever given. Yeah, every day's a blessing, thank the Lord, oh how I'm living. See me riding with my top down, oh cops round, pedal pressing on the gas. I don't think I'll ever stop.
all think that you're faking, but seeing ain't believing. I know now. I take all your stupid, burn it as my fuel, yeah. 'Cause we're running out of time, so I'm gonna make it mine.
The chosen one, I'm not the one to underestimate. I want the throne, I learn the crush, obstruction, rush through barricades, levitate. Got it tatted on me, told them follow me. They see the vision, now it's 2020, clear as Tahoe Lexus, clear as day. No longer move around in fear, disarray. Pray you hear me like the winter wind against your window pane. Feel the bass, baby, soak it in and let it marinate. It's time to hustle, gotta muscle up and run through barricades, yeah. One, I'm not the one to underestimate. I want the throne, I learn the crush, obstruction, rush through barricades, levitate. Got it tatted on me, told them follow me. They see the vision, now it's 2020, clear as Tahoe Lexus, clear as day. No longer move around in fear, disarray. Pray you hear me like the winter wind against your window pane. Feel the bass, baby, soak it in and let it marinate. It's time to hustle, gotta muscle up and run through barricades, yeah.
I got their opinions, and I got mine. I used to care what they said about me. Now I ain't got the time. Taking on me, take a seat, it's okay. Start again, touch sleep, and know me. Still a drop of love, nothing's changed. Yeah, I don't play that game. 'Cause we're running out of time. So I gotta make it, so I gotta make it. So I gotta make it mine.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 Classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch it! What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing!
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hello and welcome to the PlayVS High School Rocket League CIF Esports Initiative Spring 2021 Championship. I'm the Doxology. Alongside me is Caribou, and the PlayVS Spring 2021 CIF Esports Initiative Championship is presented by Omen, NVIDIA, HyperX, and the United States Marine Corps. Today we have an amazing best of 7 championship series between the number 9 seed, the Los Alamitos High School, the Los Al Esports, and the number 3 seed, the Hemet High School Most Wanted. Now, of course, you see these different aspects of how they play, and we also saw the amazing HyperX new Cloud, the wireless. I absolutely love the fact that they clipped it because somebody who has no hair, I really, really miss that. But this show is brought to you by the HyperX, the official gaming sponsor of Juju Smith-Schuster, Gordon Hayward, and Valkyrie. HyperX has gaming peripherals ranging from headsets to keyboards to console controller chargers. No matter how you game, we have everything for you. Use promo code HXCIF to get up to 30% off selected HyperX products. And of course, terms and conditions do apply. But speaking of condition, I really, really do miss getting, a nice cut condition on the top. But maybe that's something you can, enjoy later, Caribou. I see you're fresh with the haircut.
Oh, I honestly, I need a new one. I gotta clean it up on the sides. But I'm very happy with the fact that I still can get haircuts, and how I am. I don't mean to brag. I still got a full head of hair, but I'm excited here for this series. Well, just based off of these two teams, you said with a 9 seed, a defending champion of a 9 seed coming back into the champion, looking for a little bit of more redemption to face off against the most wanted. That is the 3 seed. 23-9 for the most wanted on the regular season. And both of these teams going 16-2 in their playoff runs, winning out in all the series to get here. Best of 7. Gonna be interesting. We saw a 4-0 sweep earlier today. Their expectations of a long series. So maybe we're gonna get that 7-game series we asked for.
We just might. A little bit of mic problems from Caribou, but one of the things I want to keep an eye on as well is the LoSal Esports, right? In the quarterfinals, they took down the number 1 seed in the MHS Wildcats in the quarterfinals. That was something that, honestly, when a 9 seed takes down a 1 seed, that big of an upset, they're coming in with a lot of, momentum pushed up. They beat the Varsity Rocket League team as well, the VAT City, excuse me. And I think, honestly, when you look at a 9 seed that's able to make such a statement on a 1 seed like that, that's a big deal. And so now the most wanted on the 3 seed side, they pushed through very, very well on their side of the bracket and have that opportunity to kind of show up and really say, look, you're a 9 seed, you got lucky on the 1 seed, and maybe the 3 seed is going to run away with this, but we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, looking to see how it is going to go with a 9 seed facing off against a 3 seed, because we've seen defending champions and the way that they've played prior and just how it's going to go into this game. So just because of the fact you are a 9 seed, you are technically the seeded underdog, you still have high expectations that you made it to the championship game. You won 32-team bracket as well, so there's a lot of competition to get here.
A lot of competition indeed. And you talked about 32-team bracket. I mean, the CIF Esports initiative has so many teams involved that when you get down to these final few teams in this tournament, I mean, these are the best of the best here. So it's quite amazing how both of these teams, they followed their route and now they got there.
Going through and through, start to finish, the championship game, looking for what's going to happen to continue to progress through the bracket, through a 7. You've made it this far. You made it through the regular season. That's all behind you now. The one thing that you should be looking for at the end of today.
At the end of today, best of 7 series. Game 1 will be here right after this break.
I'm not gonna lie to you kids, it's a fucking jungle out there. Keep your head on tight, unknown brain, and mind me, baby, let's do it. Y'all see me flying, never drop down, smoking high, I am not round, I'm not round, no denying what I got now, keep an eye out, keep it locked down, see me flying, never drop down. Drop down, smoking high, I am not round. I'm not round, no denying what I got now. I got now, keep an eye out, keep it locked down. Locked down, get too strong. Wanna battle with the beast, bring a few on. The commander and the chief for my crew on. Bullets rattling and whistle at your toque. Never sleep, eyes open, hands clutching on my loop. It's a war zone. It's a war zone. Yo, this a motherfucking war zone.
Welcome back into the Play versus 2021 Spring CIF Esports Initiative Championship. I'm the Doxology. Alongside me is Caribou, and game one of this championship series is just around the corner. Best of 7 series, the 9 seed Low Sal Esports against the 3 seed, the most wanted, literally the most wanted from the Hemet High School. And honestly, I'm super excited because the 9th seed, you know, coming in like this, they are the defending champions. But what happened this season? They had 6 wins, 2 losses. They're 21-6 overall in their games throughout this season. Their playoffs, though, they did very, very well. So now we're going to see exactly how they're going to combat against the most wanted, being the 3 seed. Just off the bat, you see the most wanted in the white. You've got Elevated Buffy, Ruthless, and Swarm. You see EMAC Swarm is in there as well, and Massey Swarm. For the most wanted, you got Kiwikol, Walrus, and Aftershock for the Low Sal Esports in the orange.
Yeah, game one we've seen is really a difference maker between teams are going to take the rest of this series. You can really start to set up the pacing here and now, and it worked out well for some teams. On the other side, you've also seen it work out not so well. All of a sudden, you just kind of reveal your entire hand, but we can tell how most wanted are the ones that want this the most. The amount of pressure they just put on 2 on framework just off. I mean, it's going to be an exciting first to pace and set the tone for the rest of this championship series.
Both teams going up for it, fighting in the kind of the midfield range, and this is, you know, game one, so you've got the opportunity to see how exactly you want to push, how their teams are going to do it. And now the Low Sal Esports team has a lot of boost. You saw them with a lot of boost control there. Kiwikol, Walrus, and Aftershock all applying pressure. There's a big save along the boards. You've got EMAC, Ruthless, and Buffy playing very, very well throughout this tournament for the most wanted. We'll see whose defense stands strong and whose offense is able to capitalize on any defensive mistakes between the two.
So far, I mean, nothing budging on either side as well. A couple of very close calls, but really haven't seen a whole lot. Haven't seen a lot of blue opportunities outside of that one right there. I mean, Most Wanted started to get some good setups here, but the defense of Low Sal is just not letting them finally open up that door.
3 minutes remaining in this game. We are scoreless in game one of this best of 7 series. I mean, honestly, with this amount of time going, as that's a big demo along the boards. You see 2:45 now remaining in this game. Kiwikol flips it up to the top of the goal. Does it get over? It doesn't. Instead, that's going to be deflected out. Buffy playing close. Walrus comes in, but that's knocked away. Half of the game has already gone by, and really the only few shots on goal is that one just kind of sneaks in from Walrus. Half court shot, essentially. You see him come forward. That's almost a full court shot. Kiwikol and Walrus both glance it through. The goal is going to be credited to Walrus, but I mean, that's just a real lucky fast break opportunity while the defense is rotating back, getting the full boost. And now, is it go on the other side to the same direction? But no, instead, Kiwikol has to play it off the wall. That was very, very lucky of the Most Wanted. Again, couldn't quite get back. 2:11, left in this game. Low Sal with a 1-goal lead, really just kind of commanding it so far. So it's kind of gone to a push and shove. See how exactly in this first game, you know, they need to kind of respond. So far, just the only redirect there as now Kiwiko is right there, but that's a big time save in the goal by Emac. You see him work around. He doesn't really have any boost. He has to go out to get that midfield boost. 140 remaining in this game. LoSal with a 1-goal lead.
And it's been pretty close still. I mean, the back and forth, like, it's not really leaning to one side or the other. The lone goal just being an open opportunity. Both these teams are playing lights out on the defensive side. It's going to make for a great series.
1:17 remaining. LoSal with a 1-goal lead. You see Buffy come forward. He got elevated, came in, tried to make the shot, didn't go down. See how quickly everybody is swarming through. You see Emac there. Buffy going back on rotation. Ruthless on rotation. Doing a really good job from Most Wanted. You've got 1 minute remaining. Here's another shot off the backboard. Couldn't get the double bounce as it was just a little bit high. Now 45 seconds remaining. Can this go back in LoSal's direction and give them an offensive chance to kind of put an extra one on the board? We will see right here. 35 seconds remaining. Aftershock moving all the way up. There's a big demo, and that's glanced by, trying to clear things out of the LoSal defensive zone and into the attacking zone. 20 seconds. That's a long pass. You see Ruthless go up for it, bounce it off the wall. That's centered up. Can anybody get the rebound? Instead, it goes back the other direction. And you see Emac just have to try to toss it up into the air. Can it get cleared out? As the final few seconds of game one tick off the board. As that shot goes in right at the last second. Aftershock with an extra little salt in the wound for game one. And LoSal is going to take game one. And that is a real big goal to kind of push the momentum into the next game, which, you know, you love to see it. You'll see a little kickoff here, and as soon as the ball touches down, LoSal with a 2-0 victory in that first game. And honestly, what I saw is a lot of back and forth, but no overcommits, and that overcommit did not happen. And when it didn't happen, you've got a lot of people in rotation. Good defense on both sides. You see the replays right here. Really, there was nothing too necessarily detrimental to either of these teams, except for on that first goal. You saw just a quick rotation and a fast break to get that goal, and then Aftershock putting another one on right at the end there. I mean, honestly, both of these teams have done a great job in how they've gotten to where they have gotten. But, you know, you see how well they kind of communicate and get to that point. Yeah. I mean, they've done a good job going into game two now.
Yeah, good setups on both sides, good fluent play, and just, you know, the first goal being all they needed really to get that. The last one, just garbage time, is what it is. And it's, you know, not much more you can really do about that. The last half a second on the clock, sure, okay, you can take that one. Essentially, it's a 1-0 loss. But off of how the series started, you take the 1-0, you go to game two, and you know you can hang with these guys.
Absolutely. And of course, the CIF Esports Initiative Championships are presented by Omen and NVIDIA. Professional grade Omen PCs with NVIDIA GeForce RTX graphics help players take their game to the next level. Visit hp.com/go/esports for more information and special education pricing. Now, one of the things I love about Omen and, you know, NVIDIA is that they continually up the game to help these players and athletes really shine in their, you know, fields. And I think Rocket League is one of them that is very unique to console. You know, that's where I started playing, was on an Xbox. You know, you play on a console or whatever you have, but it became such a unique experience getting to play with friends all over the place. And now we see at the level of esports that it's at, is so much fun to see how much it's grown over the last few years.
It's only gonna continue to get bigger as we have more and more time to play video games, more and more time understanding this environment and this market. This is just the start. I am so excited to see where this is going to go. Also, I just want to give a shout out to LoSal using these new stock cars. All the NASCAR got added. It's the first I've seen anyone use it in a competitive sense, and it just brings a little joy to my heart.
30 seconds already gone by in game number two. LoSal taking game number 1, 2-0. And that puts them in a 1-0 lead in this best of 7 series. You see EMAC working along the boards. That goes back just a little bit far. It looked like Buffy was there. Walrus comes forward to the attacking zone. That floats up. A little bit of a glance off the wall. Gives a little bit of freedom, but Walrus following it up to put it into the back of the net with 4:03 remaining. Los Sal with the lead.
And just being in congestion, getting through traffic, get the put back off the wall, putting up 1-0 a minute in. I mean, it might be all you need for the way that these defenses have been playing. One goal might be the difference maker.
3:57 remaining. You see how quickly the attack will kind of bounce back and forth. And again, I haven't necessarily seen too much of either team doing overcommits. We had that first goal that really wasn't necessarily an overcommit. It was just a really quick glance and a fast break from a clear. And I think that both teams have done well to get back and forth quickly. You see Walrus going up for it. Now clearing it to the corner. 3:30 remaining. Definitely a good opportunity for both of these teams to kind of shine through and get reset. You see the boost of the Losal Esports pretty much all drained except for Cubicle as he comes up to contest against Buffy. Ruthless on the wall. Here we go. Elevated Buffy centers it up, but nobody's there to kind of take it through. You see EMAC on the wall playing it on the other side. 3 minutes to go in this game. Game 2, Caribou. I mean, this has kind of been one of those back and forth, no real shots on goal necessarily, just one goal on the board by the Losal Esports. That's a floater. This could be a chance, but EMAC clears it out. Good job by EMAC to get back on rotation and defense. You see Ruthless chip it forward, but Kiwiko stays in bounds, immediately just taking it from him. You see him kind of pick up that midfield boost, and he comes out of nowhere on this bounce. I mean, that was just a very, very good, game sense of where that ball was going to glance off. And that right there puts Los out in a 2-goal lead.
And I think it was Aftershock that was in front of that 50, just put nose down. So the car is there to stop any forward momentum to prevent the clear. And a beautiful then capitalization on the other side from Kiwi to be able to get the shot on and get the goal scored.
2:19 remaining. Buffy with some beautiful moves all the way off the midfield wall. Watch him get that full boost. He comes up carrying it. Look at the juggle, the control. Beautiful execution. And now Most Wanted with their first goal of the series is only down by 1 with 2:17 remaining.
And that's just, as you said, the good aerial control, just keeping that right on the nose and keeping it in front the whole way through, getting around the defense. Good comeback, at least a little bit there for Most Wanted to finally get points on the board, try to get themselves in a position where they can answer. There's still a ton of time. 2-minute league is forever.
It really does feel like it. You see the back and forth. The attack from Most Wanted kind of starting to find their groove a little bit. Look at the rotations. You see Buffy get back. A good job by him. And now that's cleared out. Can he beat Kiwiko off the wall? Does he get the redirect? That's a beautiful shot on goal by Buffy. Wow. Oh my goodness. You saw how he got that cleared out and immediately contests Kiwiko on this redirect off the wall. Kiwiko can't quite get there. Aftershock got a little bit on it, but instead we've got a tie game. 1:41 remaining in game number 2 of the CIF Esports Invitational Championship.
This is such a good start too. I mean, it took him 20 seconds, so now you still have a whole nother 90 to work both sides if you want to try to take it. With Losal already getting game 1, just try to see where and how they're going to be able to hand a tie game late into this. Obviously, Most Wanted have the pressure momentum right now, but are they going to be able to keep this up and take the game back?
Playing it along the boards, trying to clear it out all the way midfield. 1:10 remaining. See how quickly the gameplay will kind of switch back and forth to allow both teams to, get that boost. You see a lot of boost on Most Wanted. And they do a good job of controlling some of that boost. Buffy just sneaking one in there.
Just being able to steal that one out there. I mean, the defense is in possession. You see Aftershock and Kiwi and Walrus, all three there, at some point on a rotation. And then, yeah, Buffy just comes in, picks the pocket, somehow gets away with that.
Right off the bat, you see a huge attack by the LoSal Esports. They kind of just push through as fast as possible. Couple seconds as we're almost to that last 30-second mark. And really, Most Wanted have responded very, very well.
Looking to see, I mean, yeah, being down a goal here, make it 2. Ruthless gets another one just over the top. The defense getting caught out. LoSal's defensive rotations are getting a little bit sloppy as this game has progressed. And Kiwi tries to go for the challenge, but there's nobody else home. Nobody's on the goal line. Nobody's even on the backside trying to go get the back boost. They're all just out of the mix and can't get into a position before all of a sudden Most Want to take advantage. Now with the 2-goal lead here, 4-2, 15 seconds. Like I said, momentum. LoSal scores 2. Now it's 4 unanswered going the other way. I mean, Most Wanted, they're going to take this one back and put us to a best of 5.
As the final few seconds tick off the board, there's a long clear trying to get it down. But the Most Wanted, I mean, coming back in game 2, a very good response to take a 4-2 lead in that game and allows it now, like you said, it's going to be a best of 5, a best of 7, of course. They're tied 1-1. And you see some of the replays and just how quickly things can change. They go back and forth and they kind of push. And you got to love to see how well, these two teams played defense right up until that last minute, pretty much the last 30 seconds or so. They did a really good job.
Yeah, and it was, up until the late game stages where all of a sudden LoSal's defense had a breakdown. Elevated Buffy had a couple of opportunities to be able to capitalize on those mistakes and make the difference in between A, B, C, and D. Gets 4 goals unanswered, and then this is a completely different Most Wanted team now. If they were looking to build up some momentum in that game, is exactly how they needed to start.
Absolutely. And now game 3 right around the corner of this CIF Initiative Spring 2021 Championship. And one of the really cool things about this and the partnerships presented by it is our nation's battles are not fought on the sidelines. They're won by Marines. That's right, I said Marines. Earning the title Marine will instill a sense of accomplishment within you greater than most will ever know. To learn more about the opportunities available in the Marine Corps, go to www.marines.com.
At the end of the day, they're brothers in arms type of thing. Air Force myself, we always have this sibling rivalry, but, being able to have all of us one team, one fight type of thing, it's cool to be able to have events in that. So a little extra shout out to them as well for coming in on this.
Most definitely. And as somebody who has many family members in all branches of the military, but some in the Marines as well, much respect to each and every one of them. Game 3 right around the corner. Now, Caribou, I think that one aspect of this, tournament so far is that both teams have kind of showed their hand on some of the gameplay that they've, really pushed. And now we're going to see an immediate, clear push into the corner. No problem. A lot of boost.
Yeah, and looking to see who's going to be able to control that boost, because it is a very important part of this game as to being able to set the tone, set the pace of the game. I mean, if you have all the boost, you don't let your opponents get any of them, you are able to take their back boost as well. This is going to be a difference maker as to who can step up to monopolize that resource, because at the end of the day, regardless of the game, whatever you're playing, resource management is a huge factor.
4:15 remaining in this game, 0-0. Of course, this is game 3. In the best of 7, it is a 1-1. Both teams finding it early. That was an opportunity for the Most Wanted. Couldn't quite get it down. EMAC is right there. Oh, a big demo midfield. You see the rotation as EMAC gets back, and now Buffy is kind of clipped. Aftershock looked like he hit Ruthless into Buffy a little bit. EMAC gets up. Kiwi Cole keeps it in the attacking zone. Can Buffy get back down and get that full boost? He does. You see that's centered Aftershock is met by Ruthless. See how quickly they attack. Oh my gosh, Walrus with a beautiful shot on goal. KiwiCole, that goes just wide. And now Buffy tries to get it past, but that is met by a huge demo. You know, give yourself up for the play. That demo actually possibly just saved a goal. And now Buffy with a shot on goal from midfield to take the 1-goal lead with 3:19 remaining.
Aftershock just full sends to midfield, thinking that Aftershock's got us to get to that one, as opposed to Kiwi, who's at the midfield hovering in the air. A beautiful setup, and then realizing the mistake from the defense on the low south side. Just a quick 1-2 pass off to the side to get it out of that lane of traffic coming in from the challenge. Push it off to the side, send a shot towards the goal. It doesn't matter how on target it is. If it's on target at all, that ball's going in, and that's why Most Wanted's got a 1-0 lead.
Buffy playing it along the boards again. Really good communication between the two of them so far. You know, they've really found ways to kind of open it up between Ruthless and Buffy, and even EMAC doing a really good job of rotating back and being on defense when need. You see him right there in the goal to disrupt that shot. I mean, Most Wanted is just doing a lot of things right as Walrus comes up, but again, Ruthless on that rotation, clears it out. 2:32 remaining, and now they're moving into that attacking side. Buffy picks up the full boost, and that's a shot on goal. Does he keep it all the way? That's met by Walrus. Just really good pitch and catch, kind of back and forth. The communication seems to be on point as the Losal Esports now on the attack. You see Walrus, KiwiCole, and Aftershock making some shots on goal. See if they can answer back on that 1-goal deficit.
Yeah, Most Wanted's got a lot of good defensive play, and they're keeping the ball out, and for as much pressure as they're getting under. The problem with the low south side right now is that they can't get those passing lanes set up. They can't get anything going in tandem. Anytime they come across the ball in the offensive zone, they're almost just shooting the ball just because they can, just because it's there, and you don't see any good. That's a good opportunity to play it off the wall. Walrus had a good attempt there, but the defense just steps up just enough. Now you have a 2-on-1 going the other way. That one,
Buffy,
they should be very happy.
That was one he wishes he could have back. And that's right in front of the goal, but Buffy able to come back and get it. That was off the top bar. You're going to see Buffy play it off the wall. Does he go for a redirect here? Aftershock says, no, I'm not even going to give you a chance to hit that again. EMAC now trying to clear it out. Sends it over to Ruthless, who plays it all the way up the wall. Nice little chip along the wall to get that cleared out. Buffy with the shot. Again, Walrus. Big time save, but that was another shot on goal, and KiwiCole comes up for the save. You just see the attack of Most Wanted. They want it most.
And they just keep with that same pressure up, the same success that they're having. I mean, they only got 1 goal to this point, but as we've said, sometimes 1 is all that you need in order to walk away with a W at the end of the game. But, I mean, Losal, they've spent time on the offensive side. It's not for lack of trying, but they just have not got any quality looks going the other way, which says a good amount about the Most Wanted defense. They just aren't letting Losal set anything up at all.
Buffy on the attack again. Ruthless was actually there to possibly get the redirect. EMAC now comes up. That's going to float right in front of the goal. We see a big demo right in front of the Losal goal. And now 2 Most Wanted players are flying high right in front to contest. Now that one's over it. Can Buffy get it cleared out? He does. And again, the communication, the rotation has just been so clean as the final few seconds of this game go by. Can the Losal Esports get another shot on goal? Instead, Ruthless sends it down. And a great Game 3 performance by the Most Wanted. You think about it, just a 1-0 game there, but back and forth to kind of control the momentum. I felt like the Most Wanted did a really good job of finding their rhythm. You see in this replay, and exactly what did you see in these replays, Caribou?
They were able to step up and take the lone opportunity that they needed. I mean, there was a singular mistake of someone's coming up just a little too far. They realized the mistake. They realized what they had to do to get around it, get 1 shot on, and get the goal scored. After that, it's just a matter of good back and forth play between both of these two teams. And now, from game 1 and from this game, you now look at this, and you've got basically a 1-0 on each side. Game 1 had a garbage time, half a second left goal scored, but basically a 1-0 to each side. These teams are just neck and neck in talent and in competition. this is going to be a great series, probably 7 games.
It's a possibility. And of course, this whole group, this whole tournament has been so impressive with the seeding and how well Los Al has come back, being the defending champions, being a 9th seed in this Play versus Spring 2021 CIF Esports Initiative Championship. Of course, it is presented by Omen, NVIDIA, HyperX, and the United States Marine Corps, but also Data Impressions. Data Impressions is paving the way for esports in California high schools, from PCs and peripherals to esports classroom design. Let Data Impressions help your school. Visit us today at dataimpressions.com/esports for the latest in technology and tournament services. Data Impressions, the official technology solutions provider of the CIF Esports Initiative. Now, 3 games down. We've got a 2-1 lead in this series by the Most Wanted. I'm thinking that you're going to see a little bit more pressure from the Most Wanted as they want to kind of get into that final, that tournament game where I know that we can win this championship. They want that elimination game so that they have a little bit more cushion. But on the other side, Los Al, we've seen how well they played game 1. It was a 2-0 victory. So we could see them apply that defensive pressure and then make some noise on those fast break opportunities. We saw that in game 1 that they scored that first goal on just a quick reset on that fast break.
Yeah, they certainly have the opportunity if they want to. They can. They have the capability to be able to strike quickly and get this goal back. I mean, they had so many chances in the last game with shots on, with setups, with offensive pressure. They just never could finally get anything to cross that line. So looking to find a way to break that goose egg from the last game. Trying a strike first that is great for momentum. 7-2-1. This is a lot. If Most Wanted takes this and puts them on series point, that's a lot more pressure for Los Al. But you just start cracking that egg. First goal is going to be huge for them.
If they can, you see a big shot on goal by the Most Wanted. They finally get it cleared out from the Los Al side. You see Buffy playing it off the wall. Very, very good aerial control by Buffy. He picks up that midfield full boost and just utilizes break really to stop himself. And now all 3 Los Al back in rotation, having to face up against Ruthless, who's there to clear it out. Walrus throws it off the wall to Aftershock, who utilizes his boost. But Buffy is right there with a double bounce to clear it out. And now EMAC on the attack, Walrus on the defense. You see the back and forth tennis motion of this gameplay has been absolutely phenomenal, with 3:35 remaining in game 4.
Both, just like you said, back and forth. This is such a close series that is probably going to go a duration this way. Try to get a little bump there on the front, not really get Kiwi out. But that last, Los Al had a great opportunity there, just couldn't quite get to it fast enough. I mean, they are having more levels of success in this game, I would say, as far as trying to put a cohesive offensive attack together, not just taking shots to take shots, but both of these teams, their defense is just not letting either side give.
3 minutes remain in this game 4, and Most Wanted, the 3 seed coming into this tournament, is facing off against the Los Al 9 seed, who is the defending champions of this league. And really, just the gameplay has been there for both teams. It's been close. It hasn't been like a blowout or feels like anything. It's just gone back and forth. You see game 1, and now EMAC gets a little glancer that goes into the back of the net for the first goal of this game. You see Kiwiko is right there, but EMAC comes in quick, and it looks like Walrus just tried to clear it out, but instead actually redirects it into the back of the goal. So now with 2:38 remaining, the Most Wanted have that 1-0 lead. But we look at last game, the final score was 1-0. So that might be the deciding factor right there.
Yeah, and that one just a small mistake. Close outside, that gives something up. And, we've seen Buffy carry him end to end before with the aerial control he's got. Maybe potentially go for a reset, but a small mistake from Walrus. Just probably should have left that for the teammate. Just a little miscommunication on the back line, and a follow from the other side. You had 2 people in net. One of them's there. Got a surprise with how long that car is. It does not get the shot on, but that's the second time off that back right wall we've seen Los Al basically set up Most Wanted for a great shot opportunity.
In this best of 7 series, 2:11 remain. A 2-0 lead by the Most Wanted. And there's another shot on goal. Heads up play by Ruthless to check out where the defense was rotating to get that boost. You see Buffy pass it straight forward. Beautiful center of the goal shot. 2:06 now remaining in this game. And the Most Wanted have a commanding lead.
Yeah, and that's just capitalizing, recognizing the team on the other side. Both of them commit to the half field. There's no one else going to be back. Quick 1-2, going 116 miles an hour. That ball's going way too fast for the lone man back to be able to start on that.
150 remaining in this game, and you see the LoSal Esports in the orange, the Most Wanted in the white. Most Wanted with the 3-goal lead, really just kind of utilizing their time, and now a pitch and catch in between the two. And Ruthless is just right there. You see Emac just kind of toss it up. He doesn't even really do anything other than a little fancy flick over to Ruthless, and Ruthless with an open goal after the defenders have commit, and now a 4-goal lead. Most Wanted feeling themselves.
Def picking up the momentum after the last one, and that one's just a good kick on the front post. You know, force the defender to challenge. There's no one else on the backside coming in. Can't get there for the demo in time. And no chance at all that the defenders can be able to stop that. At one point, like, you get the commitment from the defense to make sure that your teammate's in a good position to get on target.
Emac, 0 boost. He has 3 boost, actually. Ruthless now clears it out for him. So now Emac can find himself some of the boost pads along the midfield. And he plays it off the wall. That's Buffy coming through. Very good aerial player. Buffy has already scored almost a full court aerial shot. A lot of control all the way down. So he has established himself as somebody that really LoSal has shut down this game. He hasn't had too many shots on goal, but he has had some assists. But he can work it both ways. That's one of the, bonuses about it.
The other way, Walrus just capitalizing on this one, just to take this out in the corner. Defense isn't back yet. A little bit of a ground pinch, not much more, but a little zest to the back end of it. Now 5-0. This is huge here for Most Wanted.
Most Wanted capitalizing on a little bit of a switcheroo there, as 40 seconds remain in this game, and Most Wanted looking to go into game 5 with a 3-0 lead, pending something miraculous happens. As Ruthless again just kind of quickly takes that. I mean, you see him just kind of playing that ball off the wall. Aftershock there, but instead Ruthless is going to redirect it the opposite direction, and the Aftershock can't get to it. So a 6-0 lead by the 3 seed. I mean, it's looking very, very good for them. But if you're LoSal, you're the defending champions. You've got the mental fortitude to compete and to combat all of this. So we'll see whether or not they can respond well. And you look at just their team and how many seasons they played. 4 seasons by those 3 players in Aftershock, Cubicle, and Walrus in PlayVS. So they have that mentality that, you know what, they may be down, but they're not out. They still have another game going into this game 5. It's going to be an elimination game, but they definitely can do it. They've shown that they can do it throughout their seasons with PlayVS.
And looking at the way we've seen series go before, a couple of days ago we saw a 6-0 game followed up by a 1-0. This one is going to be a 1-0 going into a 6-0. So just because a final scoreline of 1 has implications on that current game doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of the series, unless that is the series deciding game. So having a 6-0 here, putting them now on series point, is about the most important factor to come out of that game, regardless of how many goals you scored.
And right at the beginning, you see the redirect through, and then Emac just gets a little lucky bounce off of, one of the LoSal Esports defenders, and then Ruthless really just got ruthless. I mean, he was coming in so incredibly hot. He stole a couple. You see Emac toss it up. Ruthless with 4 goals on this game. I mean, really, that one, he just followed Walrus all the way down. Walrus could never connect, through or clear it out, which is really impressive in this PlayVS season. But again, we talked about how long they've done it. I mean, they've been able to control this for a long time. LoSal being, a 9th seed, but after winning, that it's just been really, really strange to see how much they've struggled against Most Wanted. And I anticipate that they're going to push this game 5 being an elimination game. They're going to come back very, very strong. But we are going to take a quick break, and we will come back right after this. And of course, the Play vs. Spring 2021 CIF Esports Initiative Championship is presented by Omen, NVIDIA, HyperX, and the United States Marine Corps. As 4 games down and some good competition right at the beginning, kind of slowed down in game 2, game 3, and then game 4 was just an absolute blowout by the Most Wanted and the 3 seed. And now going into game 4 now, or game 5, excuse me, an elimination game for LoSal. They are the defending champions. Are they going to be able to tap into that champion mentality and come back and force a game 6 and a game 7?
Certainly not going to be easy for them, as they have a very steep uphill climb. As you said, elimination game. They got to win 3 before, if they want to put themselves as a returning champion and make it next season. Stuff will not be easy for LoSal. They have not had the offensive success at all in the last couple of games. They've got to find a way to crack open defensive Most Wanted and to clean things up on the defensive side, because we've seen them make, you quite literally have given Most Wanted beautiful opportunities to open up shot scored.
Not to mention a couple glanced off of the LoSal defenders for those self goals, and those are detrimental to any team. It doesn't matter if you're a championship team or if you've just started playing Rocket League. You definitely want to learn how to, position yourself to not get those glances, but some of them are just the wherewithal of the defending team knowing, hey, if you're going to put yourself right there, I'm just going to hit the ball against you, and it's going to go into your own goal. So you got to be mindful of that, and I think LoSal has that mindset now going into this game with a minute already gone, zeros across the board. We've seen this before, the back and forth. I mean, game 3, a 1-0, very close back and forth game. So that's what I anticipate in this game here. I mean, a game 5 with that, really just the pressure on, as it's an elimination game, as Buffy comes in to strike first for the Most Wanted. He says, yeah, I kind of don't want to go into a game 6. I would like to, end it here.
Let's take care of business here. And now it's one. We've seen Ruthless and Buffy both pick the pockets out of LoSal right in front of the net a handful of times in those last couple of games, and we know that they just are able to apply some pressure when LoSal is seemingly having issues getting in, whether it be a long clear or they just try to play it out through a midfield pass. They have not had a lot of success to do so, and Most Wanted is certainly taking advantage of that.
Kiwiko now going very elevated throughout the midfield to clear it in, and you see a big demo. Now Ruthless can't hit it off the boards. Walrus comes up, but Buffy's right there. You see how many players are in that corner, but not necessarily going for the ball. The patience of Most Wanted on their defensive rotations. I mean, that ball was in the corner, but everybody just kind of held their position. And that's something that I don't think we always see. Is usually you'll see somebody commit, as Walrus with the shot. That goes just wide, as that was one of the best opportunities LoSal has had this whole entire game.
And then unfortunate that it does go wide. They don't get the opportunity. They finally get one after a quick bang play. Right, Kiwi gets the rebound off of the initial deflection. They do get one back just before the halfway point. And that's the first they scored in the last 3 games. So this is something that's, you got to start chipping away. It's a lot. It's a long uphill battle, but you got to start there.
Got to start somewhere, and they're tied up 1-1 with 2:32 remain. And you just said it. That is the first goal that they've scored in 2 full games. You're talking 10+ minutes of gameplay without a goal, and now Ruthless absolutely ruthless. Comes in quick. You see Emac bounces that off the wall. Then he redirects it himself. And Ruthless just using all of his boost to just speed past the defenders. Really, there was just no opportunity to make that save.
And this is a point where I would start to, you know, as much as I love to see the stock cars come in as a new addition and a NASCAR fanatic myself, I love it, but this is where you start to question the practicality of this, because this is essentially a triple Dominus setup. All three of them have the Dominus hitbox, which are low profile. They are longer, but you're losing out on that defensive capability because of the Fenix and the Octanes, where they're a little bit taller, have a little bit more of that height advantage. Well, these teams can take, but hey, you know what? The Dominus is known for offense, and now that they're starting to get their offense going, maybe I'm just not smart at all.
Kiwi Cole says, look, you can say whatever you want about my car, but ball don't lie, as they say.
Yeah. It got me to stop talking real quick.
149 remaining in this game. We got a tie ball game, and Low Sal Esports are standing on the brink of elimination. And the most wanted, they're standing on the brink of that championship, you know, title. I think they kind of want that championship title the way they're continually pushing. And now Buffy with a shot on goal. After shot comes in, you see a big time demo along the boards. Kiwiko on the attack, but that's met by Ruthless. Walrus now trying to push it in and get it centered up. 120 remaining. And again, whoever wins this game, whether we're going into a game 6 or not, or a game, 6, it's going to be kind of tight. We saw this in game 3, and this is what it feels like, is that back and forth, almost like a tennis match. You go one side, I go the other. You go one side, I go the other.
And just not really having very solidified control of possession on either side. Just kind of hitting it just because you can. A nice little before anything really happens. An opportunity there that gets quickly shut down with two defenders stepping up. But we've seen how well they have that. The most one have aerial control, be able to pitch it off the wall and play it off to each other. Buffy and Ruthless are a really lethal combination here on the offensive zone.
Absolutely. 30 seconds remain, and again, the pitch and catch. Kiwiko right there, but can't get enough on it. Now Emac going aerial, met by Walrus in the air. Buffy goes back for it, and I don't know, Caribou, are we going to see some extra time? Are we going to get some free Rocket League?
Sure, certainly would be good for a Sunday afternoon. Have a little wait.
Saturday. Don't worry about it. Days are hard. 6 seconds. Buffy up in the air again as 000's touch. Will the ball touch down? This is still a live ball. It's cleared out. Emac with a shot on goal. That's going to be up top. There's a double rebound, and now can Ruthless get back to play it through? Aftershock can't keep it up, and now we do indeed have some extra time. Tie game. This is extremely tense right now as Losal trying to stay alive and move to game 6. Most wanted trying to wrap this up and become the CIF Esports Initiative champions of spring 2021.
Kiwi, the hero on the defense, right at the end of that one. That one, the most wanted had a beautiful opportunity to try to get a shot on the head numbers, looking for the double touch off the wall. Kiwi able to come in to disrupt, and now Losal recognizing the desperation of this current situation they're in. Last thing they want to do is let most want to get to the other side. We've seen Ruthless and Buffy both just being pickpockets, getting a freebie on the attacking zone. So Losal doing everything right now to keep this on the side of the field.
There's going to be a shot off the wall. Instead, Ruthless immediately takes it. He gets the rebound. Can he redirect? Buffy's right there. And now, most wanted on the attack. There's a shot that's going to go wide. Oh, my goodness. And now you see Losal on the attack themselves. Can Buffy get it? No, that does not go in the direction that Buffy wanted to, as there was a redirect happening right in front of the goal. Again, this is going to float up. You see Kiwi Cole, an aftershock. Kiwi Cole is able to maintain possession and get it into the corner. He centers it up, but instead Buffy is going to clear that out. Can anybody make the offense happen? As you see, the back and forth defense of both teams has been so impressive. Walrus letting it touch his tires. Kiwi Cole plays it off the wall. Now Emac and Buffy on defense, continually pushing on this extra time. Next goal wins. Doesn't matter which team, but it does matter because the winner of this series is actually going to go to the Play versus Cup, which we will talk about in just a moment. As again, the shots are shot just both teams back and forth. I mean, you name it. Once it's on one side, it's going to be on the other side. Yeah. You see Aftershock right there. Ruthless is able to clear it out along the boards. I mean, 2 minutes have gone by, Caribou, and I don't know which side it's going to stay on because it literally is a tennis match right now.
Yeah, just like the first 60 seconds was on the Most Wanted's defensive side, and then the next 60 seconds on the Losal's side. And now it's just long booming clears where Losal's trying to find a way to get back on the attack here, but they can't overcommit because you know in a point of desperation, you want to end this game to get one back to be in a 3-2 series. You don't want to overcommit because it's just one of those things that's itching at the back of your mind, like, okay, we have to end this game, we got to get out of this game, and then we still have to win like 2 more after that. You just got to stay disciplined.
Got to stay disciplined, and the mental fortitude of the defending champions is starting to show through, where they just continually play their game that almost looks like they're warmed up and they're ready to go. As Walrus now playing it along the boards, that's a floater. Kiwi Cole gets it up midfield. 3 minutes have gone by in extra time. We're talking a game and a half has been played as we're tied 2-2.
Just another casual Rocket League match, exactly as we expected, to have another 3 minutes on the clock after the regulation has ended. And there's still no signs of any falter on either side or any opportunity where this game is going to end anytime soon.
3:27 has gone by now as the ball is in the Most Wanted attacking zone. Buffy trying to make something happen. Walrus playing it off the wall. Instead, Ruthless is just going to kind of touch it and bring it back down. Kiwi Cole, can he get it cleared out? EMAC is also there. You see just the discipline of the rotation there by Most Wanted for nobody to really make a move on it, but just wait for the ball to come to them before they get it cleared out. And now, as we creep up on 4 minutes into overtime, I mean, this is impressive just gameplay from both teams, back and forth. And now Buffy throwing it back to Ruthless. Ruthless goes aerial, tries to get the redirect, met by Kiwi Cole.
And this is the back and forth. They've had so many good chances. And you talk about the rotation back for Most Wanted. I mean, they have most of the boosts. Look at those numbers in comparison. Those numbers are higher than what Losal is offering. And you see Most Wanted on the defensive rotation. Even though they have a moment of strength where they could make a counterattack, they are playing it safe enough that they don't want to give anything up going the other way. Sure, the I's are dotted. And try to, in this game here now, we're gonna hit another.
Oh my goodness. What a save by EMAC as that ball was 90% past the line. Kiwi Cole now with the shot. Ruthless comes up with the save. And finally, Walrus comes in with 4:53 on extra time. We're talking 2 full games as Losal answers back. I mean, that's a big time win, of course, and they stay alive to push it into game 6. I mean, 10 centered balls by Kiwi Cole. The defense of both of these teams, it was incredible just leading into that final few seconds of this matchup. And of course, then we have the extra time where it just goes back and forth and back and forth. And Caribou, I mean, what a game.
Basically, everything that happened in regular time just didn't matter. It just came down to an extra game that they had to play where the difference maker is a goal scored with 7 seconds left on the clock because we went to 4:53. So, a crazy game that's going to keep them alive.
Almost 2 full games played in there. And you think about just how mentally draining that can be as now we move into game 6 with a best-of-7 series where Most Wanted leads 3-2, and we're going to see Losal try to push it to a Game 7 now. But the winner of this series is going to go on to the Play versus Cup, and the Play versus Cup is the culmination of the scholastic year of esports excellence. I mean, all of 2020 and 2021 fall and spring seasons of high school and youth championship teams are invited to go head-to-head to determine, you know, that single champion across League of Legends, Rocket League, and Fortnite. So that's coming up in June. I mean, literally, they're going to get a little bit of rest, you know, maybe a week, 2 to kind of prepare for that, and then immediately go back into head-to-head competition for the PlayVS Cup.
Yeah, and that's, again, just another one of those little bragging rights things. You know, the best of the best of the best, and who comes out from that, because it's going to be more phenomenal. I mean, this is just at a state championship level. Imagine putting that many champions in the same place.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. 30 seconds has already gone by, and again, we resume this back and forth big-time demo along the boards. Ruthless playing it off the top shelf. Walrus says, nope, not today, but instead, Buffy's right there for the redirect, as that's an amazing save by the defense. I mean, you see Low Sal almost look like they've turned it on, coming in as the defending champions. It's like, you know, they just clicked all of a sudden in these last few minutes, and now Kiwi Cole putting Low Sal on the board with 4:03 remaining. They've got a 1-goal lead, and we look at game 3. I mean, Most Wanted won with a 1-goal lead, just like that, 1-0. So I mean, that could be the goal if it goes back and forth. Think about, of course, the last game. We went into 450 plus extra time. So this 1-goal lead could be the deciding factor.
Yeah, and then you look at where we were in the last game. It took about 60 seconds before we saw the first goal, and then the other team just had a couple unanswered right back, and then had to tie it up. Like, this is, in all senses of the word, literally, figuratively, back and forth between these two teams.
As Buffy now clears it all the way, but it's met by Walrus. You see the rotations, and now Aftershock is playing in the corner. He goes for it, and you see Kiwi Cole sneaking in to the defensive zone as well. Kiwi Cole goes up, but instead you see Aftershock rotate back. I mean, this is really, really good rotation by Low Sal right now, as they continually work on the defense to provide themselves with maybe a shot on goal opportunity here, but they're not pressuring anything immediately, as that shot goes just high. You see Walrus come down off the board, but he didn't boost through it. He just accepted it, waited to see where people were going, and then tried to clear it out, got it to his teammate. Now Buffy playing it off the wall and coming down, as Kiwi Cole with a shot on goal. Ruthless coming out of nowhere for that save. I mean, that was a huge save by Ruthless for the Most Wanted, as that would have put Low Sal up by 2. And honestly, Kiwi Cole doing everything he absolutely can, plays it off the wall, gets the rebound, pushes it past the defender. And I mean, look at this replay, Caribou.
Just the flip over the top and then playing off. The defender just bites, doesn't care in time. Kiwi, the hero of the defensive side in the last game, to send it to overtime. And now here, putting him up 2-0. This is a substantial performance from Kiwi.
I mean, you are talking about the defending champions in this league. Half of the game has already gone by, a 2-goal lead by Low Sal. They are on the brink of being eliminated. So that is why they have to really, really pressure the offense on this, and they've done that so far. I mean, you talk about an elimination game, but then going up 2. I mean, that's just a mentality that says, look, I know we were on the elimination game last game. Instead, we're going to do everything we can to push it into game 6. Now they're in game 6. Hey, we're going to command the lead so that we know going into game 7, we're going to provide a show and really show you exactly why we're the defending champions.
And it's just reminiscent of one of those things. You're going to, let the other team win 3 games to give them false hope. This is all according to strategy. Low Sal's got them right where they want them. They wanted to be down 3-1. It's all calculated.
Calculated. You heard it here first, chat. You heard it here first. Calculated. The Aftershock playing extremely amazing defense as well. You got 80 seconds left on this game number 6, as Most Wanted, really, they showed up in game 3 and 4, including even in game 2 with a 4-2 victory, but especially in game 4, a 4-0 victory. I mean, really got the sense that their momentum was pushing, popping, and now Ruthless gets on the board for Most Wanted. And I think that's exactly what you needed, was something to kind of revitalize what they experienced in those prior games to really push the envelope. And now with 105, there's still plenty of time to tie this up and take the victory if they can.
Yeah, and that's exactly the point I was getting ready to touch on, in the sense of looking at the way that Losal came back in their second game and tried to get a couple of goals scored. They finally answered back. They finally break, especially in that last game, where they go 3 games without scoring. They finally get one back. They finally break the ice. Most Wanted at the same point where kind of lost their mojo and now trying to find it.
That goes into the attacking zone of Losal. They're trying to make something happen and continue apply pressure, but instead Emac goes aerial. Walrus looks like he got clipped. KiwiCool comes down and finally gets that cleared out. Under 30 seconds remaining. Losal with a 1-goal lead. They are on the attack, but instead Emac's going the opposite way. Says, look, I'm going to clear this out, but I'm going to see if I can create some form of offense out of this, as he gets a big-time demo as well. Now Buffy with some moves. KiwiCool says, look, I stayed home. Don't worry about that. It's social distancing, but I'm not going to distance myself from this goalpost right now.
A 2-1 comeback right there. So, hey, guess what? More Rocket League.
You see the defense, though, of Losal, showing exactly why they are the defending champions. I mean, being down 3-1, you think about that. You see the replays here. KiwiCool just powering one in to start things off at 4:03. And then, of course, he does it again. He plays it off the boards, says, look, I can do it myself. I think it's a testament exactly of how strong your mental fortitude has to be. And you look at these players, KiwiCool, everybody has been there for 4 seasons long. Aftershock and Walrus, they've all played together for quite a while, which is, I mean, honestly, being down 3-1 and then coming back and saying, look, all right, you've had your fun. We're going to push you to a game 7, and then we'll see what you're made of. I think that's kind of impressive.
They got them right where they wanted them. They wanted to be down 3-1. They got it. They were able to answer back, and now here we are. The 3-3 series. Forget the first 6 games. It's all down to this. Best of 1.
Best of 1 indeed. Game 7 underway. Losal in the orange. Most Wanted in the white. The 9 seed. Again, Losal, you know, the defending champions, but coming in as the 9 seed, playing against the 3 seed in Most Wanted. I mean, that's a pretty big storyline in the fact that, you know, a defending champion kind of just dropped down a little bit throughout the regular season. They did lose 2 games, but played very, very well throughout the playoffs. They only lost 2 games throughout the entire playoffs. So that's a big thing. They even played the number 1 seed in the MHS Wildcats in the quarterfinals. But again, only losing those 2 games really puts them in a great position here, knowing that their mental fortitude, they're ready to go. They can do this. And it's really been Losal the last, I'd say, 5-10 minutes of gameplay that has just seemed like they have been prepared to really turn something on.
I guess if you want to look at it by time on clock as well, we've already actually played, like, this is actually game 8 because we had a full game in overtime. So longevity in series just is not a factor at all, especially when it comes down to a championship caliber play. Ruthless is not the first time we've seen that, where just a ball bouncing dangerously across the middle. Ruthless, Buffy, and Emac, all 3 of them have been able to just sneak in, get barely a glance of a touch, and put the ball across the line.
Of course, Most Wanted now with a 1-goal lead, 3:41 remaining, as KiwiCool tries to clear that out, met by Buffy. And again, we've seen a couple of those glances, those self-glances almost off the goal. And now Emac getting in on it as well, saying, look, we've let you have your fun. You've come back, but now it's our turn to get hot again. And Most Wanted has a 2-goal lead with 3:32 remaining.
Yeah, that's just the recognition of, okay, look, so you thought you had us where you wanted, but we have you where we want you. We thought you would get some false hope coming back to a 3-3 series and now trying to answer, but Walrus, wow, very, very fast. Down the field, one side, double touch, good control.
I mean, that's just a beautiful shot, too. You see how he utilized just a little bit of boost to provide him that opportunity. Touches down just a second, jumps to the side, redirects that into the back of the goal, and now it's a 1-goal game with 3:21 remaining. You see Ruthless go up for it, met by Walrus, but Emac stays home. You see the defense of both of these teams had just been so strong. Emac with a shot that's going to go wide. You see a little bit of opposition met by midfield defenders, and that's a floater, but Walrus is there to accept it and bounce it down. Walrus, again, having to do a lot on both sides of the ball, but the rotations of Losal have been very, very clean. Over the last probably 2 games, 3 games almost worth.
Yeah, they've been able to pretty much clean it up, and we saw minor mistakes early in this series, games 2, 3, 4, where their defense was just open a little bit too frequently for comfort. And they've completely changed things up here to tighten down that defense. They've solved it pretty quickly. They were able to bounce back. Close to game 7. Great adaptability.
See this, just the patience of Aftershock as Ruthless comes in, but Kiwi Cool is there on the rotation. Can he play it off the wall in the attacking zone? Tries to center it up, but instead met by Buffy and Ruthless. That bounces through. Walrus with a shot that goes just wide. Kiwi with a shot off the wall, trying to get it centered up, but instead Ruthless takes it the opposite direction. And now we're back into this back and forth gameplay where it's a long clear, a shot on goal, good defense, long clear, shot on goal, good defense.
Yeah, Losal, they were attempting to go the other way. They just kind of ran out of boost and just attack or counterattack, more or less fizzling. Unfortunate, right around midfield, so there's just not much more they can do other than keep the ball in midfield, which is significantly better than keeping the ball in front of your goal.
1:34 remaining in game 7. Again, the winner will be crowned the champion of the Play vs. Spring 2021 CIF Esports Initiative. It's not just enough to say that, though, because they will go on to play in the Play vs. Cup in June. But what a feat, especially with how talented this league is and how it's developed over the years. Again, we've talked about it before, but Losal, all 3 of these players have played 4 seasons of Play versus. So they definitely have what it takes to finish this up with under a minute to go. Can they just get one more goal on the board to tie things up and move it to extra time? Could we see another 5-minute extra time?
Not likely, but extra time might not be out of the question, but Ruthless just trying to put a little extra insurance on top. They, again, a little bit too much commitment over there. They form Aftershock and Kiwi. And on the back post, the defender just caught out of rotation. Walrus not there, didn't stay home, left it open. So now Most Wanted 3-1.
3-1 game. Most Wanted with the lead as 40 seconds remain. See Aftershock going up for it. Can't quite get enough boost to get the redirect. Walrus playing it off the wall very smartly. Ruthless bounces that through, and now Aftershock has to go for it. That's redirected through, but it's going to be met by Emac. Kiwiko can't play it off the wall. Walrus is right there. A little tap in front of the goal. Oh my goodness, another opportunity. Now with the last 20 seconds to go, you're going to see Losal really have to apply the pressure. You see Aftershock there trying to get it bounced through. Walrus with a shot on goal. That's a big save by Ruthless. Kiwiko now, can he get a shot on goal? No, the last few seconds are ticking off the board, and Ruthless powers one more home, and that's just about gonna do it. The final 2 seconds after this kickoff are going to tap through, and honestly, this is where the rubber meets the road. It's going to be just an amazing opportunity for the Most Wanted in the way that they're going to wrap this up right here. Ball's going to touch down, or is it? You see Bumpy play with it. This has just been a very, very good matchup, as now Most Wanted takes that game. Game 7, again, they dominated in game 2. Game 3 was close. Game 4, they won 6-0, and then they let Losal back into it. They kind of allowed Losal to kind of get that feeling of we've got this, and then really game 7, just full control by Most Wanted.
Just a very good game for Most Wanted. Just the way they were able to finish that one out, keep themselves in position. Sure, they had a 3-1 series, and they came back to a 3-3, but when it came down to it, they were able to take care of business.
Hemet High School and the most wanted, the 3 seed coming in. You are the champions of the Play versus High School Rocket League CIF Esports Initiative. Of course, it's the Spring 2021 champions have now been crowned. You see that right there on the bracket. Congratulations to you. Honestly, it was a lot of fun to watch you play through. And I can't wait to see. I mean, some of these players, they have the opportunity to come back. You see two 11th graders on their team right now in Ruthless and EMAC. They have that, time to come back and play next season. So congratulations, and I can't wait to see you. But that's going to do it from Play Versus. I'm the Doxology. Alongside me is Caribou. But don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for the CIF League of Legends Championship Finals coming up right after this.